Hi, I'm Philippe Lazaro, storyteller with Plant with Purpose. I'm here with Anna Amani, programs officer for the Africa region where Plant with Purpose works. We're actually here in Burundi right now, and we're here to talk about the UN Sustainable Development Goals and how those relate to Plant with Purpose's work. Maybe you've just seen the circle logo with the rainbow wheels cut out, but Anna, for those who maybe have varying degrees of familiarity, what are the Sustainable Development Goals and why are they so important, especially to the kind of work we're doing?
The UN Sustainable Development Goals are a collective effort to make a global promise to people around the world for a certain standard of living with dignity.
It starts right off with goal number 1, which is zero poverty.
Yes, so poverty is a multifaceted phenomenon, and so our integrated approach, our attempt to have a holistic model that works within a specific area is actually very effective at not only pulling people out of poverty, but building resilience not to slip back into poverty. We actually published a paper on that around COVID and how our participants were more resilient to that trauma of the COVID stress. We were able to see that our participants had more months of savings, they had more amount of savings.
So we know it's not just a sudden influx of cash, but it's like their lives are actually different now. Let's talk about food security, which is the second goal, zero hunger. I've seen in recent years a few different times of Burundi topping the list of most food insecure nations. What are some of the ways we're both doing that and also measuring that?
So one of the ways we actually target that specifically is what is called our opportunity mapping. We look at the specific parts of the country that are most vulnerable in terms of their land is more difficult to farm and they're having less resources in their area. So we're starting off with the most vulnerable population. Part of our program deals with diversifying their diet through things like kitchen gardens, as well as having more resources to have 3 meals a day.
This feels pretty closely related to the next item on the list, which is good health and well-being.
Right, and part of what we really focus on is this platform of social cohesion. When you're trying to effect change in someone's life or someone's community, when they are in a group and they're doing it together, they are much more likely to be successful, whether it's dieting or exercise or improved agriculture. When people are in a group, they're more likely to be successful at making that change and owning that change.
Number 4 is quality education. Now, I don't necessarily always think like putting kids in school seems at the forefront of our work, but it actually is pretty significant. How is that tied into what we do?
It's not at the forefront of our model, but it is at the forefront of parents. So when parents are able to have a stable income, the first thing they want to do is send their kids to school. And so we see that with our model and having diverse income and being able to save, one of the first things they're going to do is pay their children's school fees.
It plays into the next goal, number 5, gender equality.
Yes, we're seeing that women in particular are excelling and thriving within our model. They're excelling at implementing the model, and they're excelling at all the different variables that we measure in terms of impact. And that has happened organically. It's not something we targeted specifically, but it has happened organically because our model is all about inclusion and bringing people in and allowing people the opportunity to improve their lives and their communities.
I think one reason why this gender integration is so important to our work too is it's just simply who's at the forefront of the types of problems that we're addressing. Most of the world's food in this region is grown by women, correct?
Absolutely, absolutely. Women grow about 70% of the world's food.
Goal number 8, that one is decent work and economic growth and ensuring that those go hand in hand. How does being able to work well factor into our program model?
Well, this is a key element of our program in that we talk about the theology of work and the importance of the farmer as part of the original design for overall well-being of humanity and God being the original farmer. So we're giving the farmers pride. There's a sense in the rural communities that somehow if you remain in the rural community, you have failed. You know, you didn't go to school, you're not working in an office, you know, those kind of aspirations regulations are what's been pushed to the forefront, but now we're bringing the importance of the farmer to the community.
Goal number 10, reduced inequalities. So yeah, what are some other ways we see that play out in our communities?
Yes, we talked about that, not only bringing the women in, but making the whole community understand that working together is the way forward, right? Whether it's taking care of their children or cooking or working in their kitchen garden, that when they work together, the home is more prosperous, right? Instead of thinking that's women's work or I can't be a leader because that's for men, we bring the community together to see that when people are included in both spheres, the whole community prospers.
Speaking of community development, goal number 11 is sustainable communities. It almost sounds like shorthand for just like the picture of all we do. But what is specifically meant by this UN SDG, and how do we address that?
Well, part of what they're talking about is this ownership, right? That over time, the community will become self-sustaining. And this is what we want. We want the community to be helping each other. We want the community to restore their environment, to be prosperous and to thrive. Understand that the power to do all that is within the community already.
That kind of seems related to goal number 12, and this is one, it feels kind of familiar. It's responsible consumption and production. And in my daily life in the US, I often think of, can I make sure my clothing was made well? Can I make sure my food is grown in an ethical manner? What are some of the ways it looks like at the local level here?
At the local level, we have things like improved stoves where they're consuming less firewood to cook their meals. Their meals are not cooked like our meals. They're cooked over an open fire, usually by charcoal or wood. And when we teach communities how to build improved stoves, they are able to use far less firewood.
Number 15, life on land, improving the health of land and people's relationship with that.
Tree planting, protecting watersheds, restoring the environment, improved agriculture, better health, just overall a holistic integrated model.
Thank you so much, Anna. And for more info on this, visit plantwithpurpose.org. We have a whole section on our sustainable development goals and how those are related. You can dive deeper into any one of them, and there's a lot there to explore. Thank you so much.